showtime. Hey everybody, it's the D-Rock100 and welcome back to more of Pokemon White. In the last episode, we covered a lot of ground. After kind of going here through Nimbasa City, making our way here to Isera City. Or, I guess, Stralsund City, whatever this is. But that's where we'll be going in this episode. We got no time to waste, let's boogie. Boogie on down into whatever lane this is. Why, the Unova region, of course. Okay. So enough silliness. Just gonna come around here. So now we're here at Twist Mountain. There are some things about Twist Mountain that actually are kind of open up to us now. I'm throwing up a repel. Okay, I'm sorry. I won't do that kind of joke ever again. I don't know whose bright idea this was into using that type of terms as the throwing up something, because that just sounds wrong in many ways. Alright. So kind of going into here. We're in a new month! Welcome to spring! That means we finally have access into some locations that we haven't been to from before. And lucky for me, I know the place there pretty darn well. But what's not so lucky for us is that it's getting into certain locations that are now accessible to us. And it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, because I think kind of the last time I did this, I cheated my way down here, but to be fair, a lot of people kind of did this when they introduced winter season in this. They kind of cheated through all this. Doing a good job. Okay. So my ultimate goal is to try to get him through the rest of Twist Mountain that's now accessible to us, because, like I said, some new things have opened up. I've repeated myself from before. You know how this works. But one person that I'm going to look for has something new. I'm going to ignore that Dust Cloud because it is of no importance. We got a doctor right there. I already healed up from before, so it should be good. Oh, that's not it. You know, I says that for when I realize that I'm now pretty much lost and don't know for where the frickety frack I'm going. But that's okay. Did I not come this way? I did say that I would cover the rest of Twist Mountain, but okay. Woobat! Level 34? Oh boy, Woobat! Come here and let me whip you down with my blade! That sounds disgusting! Alright. Bulldor! Okay. Let's see. Sure. My Pokemon have been really getting into a lot of good fights in the past episode, and they're in here for a treat. I know for a fact that you'll have Sturdy for the ability. You're faster than I am? What? Oh, okay, you know what? Never mind. I was thinking of something else. You know what? Let's just Mega Horn this thing. Thank you. Keep forgetting that bug does a good amount of damage to rock types. Maybe I'm thinking of something else and that resists it or something? I don't know. They've done a lot of balancing fix-ups in the past, and so actually, you know what? Come to think of it, I never been in this room. Oh, this got complicated and pretty fast. You. A protein. Is this guy he patrolling this place just to protect his drugs? Fine. Dragon Jam. Okay, I'll take it. So now we're down here. You have this house that's right here. With nothing in it! Anyway. We're off. Go through here. I believe it's in this room that I'm thinking of that has something new to us. Yes! You look for something in an empty place like this, you discover things. Like this fossil I just found. Take this. Old Amber! Okay, I think you're a rare one. If you come again tomorrow, you might be able to find a fossil of your own. So come on and play if you want. Uh-huh! So now we're in this room. TN91's flash cannon. Okay. So, in this room, we have this very strange looking rock. It's a rock covered with ice. Touching it can make you freeze. This is known as the Icy Rock. If you have an Eevee in your party, you will be able to evolve it into a Glaceon. Actually, not come to think of it, do I even have a repel up? Because I don't remember I even put one up or not. Okay, so I must have had one active from before, but anyway. So, I don't know if this is true though, but I wonder. A drill burn. Because I'm curious about this. I don't remember if this is the case, but well, I'm also state the fact that is true. This person right here. Every day, or I guess once a day, he will give you a random fossil. He could give you one of the 7 fossils, the Helix fossil, the Dome fossil, the Old Amber, the Root fossil, the Claw fossil, the Skull fossil, and I think the other one's called the... Oh, God, what was the other one called? Armor fossil, that's it. I actually lost the name there for a moment. Okay. So I'm kind of going through here, make sure what I'm getting at is correct. I want to take a moment to talk about these Pokemon. I believe they can only obtain at level 25, and they can be of some good use via this 100 point in the game. But then again, I have been thinking of something else from wrong before, but I'll just state the facts. Starting things off with the Helix Fossil. Omanite. A rock water type with no sturdy for the ability? If you say so. Bring it down a little bit more how this works. It is surprisingly a very good Pokemon for the post-game. And oddly, despite what you think at first glance, it's not a bad special offensive user. It does eventually come in no Shell Smash. But I believe it takes until level 47 to get that hit as an Omanite. So you'll have to wait, I think, an additional 5 levels for it to become an Omanite hittable with Shell Smash. Omastar will eventually get it, but I think that one takes until level 67 to get it. You definitely want to use this. Anyway, this Pokemon's pretty good, but some of its abilities suck. I'm not saying that it's completely bad, they're just weird. Your options are, do you want to have an Omanite that can double as the speed while in a rain, or do you want an Omanite that can resist critical hits? I wish you had access to Weak Armor, which is a fantastic ability, but you can't get to it in this particular game. But maybe some other time. All in all, I really like an Omanite, but we all know that is just as it is. It's a Helix, and that definitely knows how to swirl around and break its shell. Picking ourselves up a little bit more, we have Kabuto from that of the Dome Fossil. This one is basically similar to that of Omanite, except it has a majority of its stats flipped, and it's more on the physical offensive side. And aside from that of Shell Armor, you would instead potentially have Battle Armor. So, it's basically the same thing. It's weird how they distributed that, but it evolves into Kabutops at a pretty nice level, and my oh my, is this thing good. I've been waiting to talk about how great this Pokemon is for a while, and it's just gotten a whole lot better thanks to the physical special split. I definitely would suggest that you probably go for Swift Swim personally with this Pokemon, because it's a little bit faster, and by the time it evolves into Kabutops, whoo boy, it becomes one of the best sweepers that you'll find. The only real issue that I really have with it is that I was saving it until now, but the both of them have a major quad weakness to grass, and none of them have sturdy for the ability. So you're going to be at this for a while. So if you're as stubborn as me, just go for Swift Swim. Otherwise, stay away. It really disappoints me that these fossil Pokemon come so late because they're so good. Speaking of ones that are really good, probably the superior one out of all of them, Aerodactyl. Now this is the story about how my life got flipped upside down and whatever. This is a Pokemon that you want to consider. Be absolutely sure it does not come with pressure. That just doubles your opponent's PPUs with each move that is used each turn. You want Rocket. Having the ability to resist recoil damage is great. Aerodactyl, I believe, is still tied for being the second fastest Pokemon in the game. If not, definitely out there. With base 130 speed, base 105 attack, and ruthlessly good in moves that it can learn through both the level up and TMs, what more could you ask for? Oh, here's an idea. It knows the Elemental Fangs! Hell yeah! You definitely want to give this thing one of the Elemental Fangs, if not both, if you can afford it. Probably one of the best moves that I would recommend for an Aerodactyl: a Rock Slide, Fly, or Acrobatics, depending which one you go for. Then probably the Thunder Fang, and maybe throw in a Giga Impact while you're at it. There are some good choices. And by good choices, I mean swell of a good choice. I really do wish that an Aerodactyl would be a good mixed sweeper. I mean, just look at its defense, special attack, and special defense. They suck! Like, what happened to this thing? Did it just realize that it's more bulky and stuff and just missed Mind Day or something? Nah, whatever. Either way, Aerodactyl is great. One of the fastest Pokemon that you'll find. Just make sure that you have Rocket for the ability. It is that good. Moving on to that of the Root Fossil, we get probably the strangest one of the group, and one of my personal favorites. Lileep. A raw grass type that nobody ever remembers as typing, and it's kind of awkward when I kind of put it this way. I really do think that this is a Pokemon that is trying to be good, but it's held back by an Achilles heel of an ability of Suction Cups. It doesn't have anything else. And that irks me. And yes, I know it technically has Storm Drain, but that's a hidden ability, but it's meant to be a decent double wall, I guess. I would definitely recommend Ingrain as a great starting move to have for each battle that you have with this thing, because it is a godsend if you use this Pokemon in the correct way. Being able to heal up at the end of each turn, even without the use of Leech Seed, don't lie, that's a good combination. So all around, I would say that Lileep is really good, but it's held back by that Achilles heel of that ability and some of the moves that it learns to level up, so you might want to consider investing some TMs into this thing. But let's talk about its superior counterpart, and probably the more awkward. Con. Iron up. Yeah. An Anorith. Jeez, I can't talk today. Jeez. Battle Armless for the ability? If you say so. Not much really needs to be said about this. A rock bug type is pretty nice. And while I do see if it has some good concepts to go for, a lot of things about this on Pokemon just work strange. It's meant to evolve into a pretty decent mixed attacker, or not really much of a mixed attacker, but physical sweeper of Armaldo. But you could do worse with this thing. What's hilarious is that as an Armaldo, it learns the only water type move through level up, Water Gun. Kind of weird when you put it that way, but I guess you could do worse with this, but who cares? It becomes a great offensive user. It's pretty fast for what it is. You're not exactly missing out on much if you plan on using this for competitive play. Next up, only found through the Skull Fossil, is Cranidos. And can I just say, ouch. Just ouch. And not in a good way. Cranidos is a very interesting rock type. In fact, it is the only fossil Pokemon that we see, I believe even to this day, that remains a pure rock type throughout the entire evolution line. And I'm gonna be honest, this thing kinda sucks. I know I used one in my very first Pokemon LP, and even though that I consider this to be pretty decent as a Pokemon, it's a glass cannon. On the flip side of that, it has the highest base offensive stats that we've seen out of many of these rock types. You wanna use this. The only real big negative is that if it's a swing and a miss, it's like they're not going ahead to get a good hit afterwards. You want to plan this out very carefully. It served me well in Platinum, but I guess technically to this day it's classified as a come and go kind of Pokemon. I don't know. This is just a very strange Pokemon that I feel like has been missing out on a lot. But even by the time when it evolves into Rampardos, it's still treated as a glass cannon. And finally, through the Armor Fossil is probably the better one out of the two. Well, sort of. Shieldon! A Rock Steel type and right off the bat, and it doesn't change anything else from that? Sure. And also, finally, a fossil Pokemon with Sturdy! Where were you when we needed you? I've been waiting to talk about this, and I know I didn't really talk much about it when I first played Platinum, but Shieldon may be a pretty nice defensive wall, but I see the Pokemon have gotten a whole lot better in later generations after its debut in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. It had access to better moves, and I kind of see this as a bit of a jack of all trades if you know how to use it correctly. Oh, and did I mention that it can learn some of the elemental things as well? Which is pretty nice to say the least. But with that rock steel type combination, being only have to worry about fighting and ground types, we have some good uses to go for out of this beast. It does take a while for it to evolve, and by the time of when it does, Bastiodon is a hard-hitting son of a bitch. I like this thing. I just wish that it gotten a whole lot, I guess, a better concept later on in its life, but it's not bad. It's just awkward. Alright, I need to rest my voice for that, because, my god, I talked a lot on this one. So it actually kind of took me a while, but I believe you can't find any fossils through the, Dust Cloud. Which is actually kind of sad. Maybe I'm thinking of a later, maybe in the sequel to the game? Because then again, Twist Mountain doesn't come until after that, but, whatever. Actually, it's not the question here right now. Just kind of see what we got right here. We have a new one. We'll talk about you in a little bit because I need to talk about some other things before we get to the Pokemon out here. Alright. So now that we're here in Isura City, why don't we kind of check up on things around here, see how things have been going ever since Team Plasma kind of went their separate ways. And sure, let's take a look at the Pokemon Fan Club. Fan Club, right? Yep, there it is. Hello? Champion coming to the house? If you're a trainer, will you show me how you are raising your Pokemon with love and care? Which Pokemon will you show me? Started with Malos. This Spear was level 5 when you met, and now it's level 56. It's quite well. I feel your love for this Pokemon. A Cleanse Tag! This is a token of gratitude for showing me your great love for your Pokemon. What happens if we show the rest? Because I'm curious. I think you give us a new item every day? This one pretty much just shows you your friendliness level with your Pokemon. He's super friendly to you. I'm a bit jealous. Our buddies have come a long way. They really have. Alright. Time to check up on our buddy, how he's been doing here in the gym. Because I've kind of been... Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I even did that with Skyla, but... Then again, I have a bit of a grudge with Skyla for still giving me that concussion from before, so... Well, I guess she's not 100% mean. She has her moments, but we still like her. Yep. I just kind of noticed something. When we step onto these platforms that have like that spiky right there, they actually give it a moment to have us properly adjust so we don't do something we're going to regret along the way. That's actually pretty cool. In the past, when I was hurt and depressed, Aldo shared this with me. There is strength in being with other people or Pokemon. Receiving the support makes you stronger. A man named Sharon also seems to understand this now. Yeah, it took him until up to the post game, but we'll roll with it. So yeah, now that we're back in the wintertime, that whole grassy area up there is completely blocked off. There's no way to get up there until winter. But that's okay. Oh, hi. Hi, this way, please. Okay. Exciting, thrilling, zippity, chilling. It's pep quiz, or maybe someone would say, Cowiz! See the challenges? This person. Hiya, welcome. Pep quiz starts now. Answer lots of quizzy questions and watch your brain get brainier. Let's start with a question. Good luck. A question. Where do you go to hear your Pokemon? Why is determined difficult? Can the challenging answer this? Okay. This is kind of strange. But, let's see here. Let's see here. Turn. I honestly never really done this before. Where am I supposed to find it? Because it's obviously the Pokemon Center. Oh, maybe I found it through here. Maybe. Here it is. That is correct. You go. Yeah, you do. Yeah, good hustle. Congratulations. Now this is a prize. It's an antidote. What a ripoff! Your game show sucks! Okay, that was weird. I didn't really intend to show that, because I actually kind of forgot about it myself. So, why don't we talk about something else? Maybe we could talk about the 2 new Pokemon that we can find through fishing out here in Ice River City? And that both of them are going to be right here, because we showed one of them already. I was prepping my notes when I did that. Shouldn't have done that, but let's get right into it. Barboach and Wishcash. Wishcash can only be found through rippling water. And honestly, we have some good choices here, but all these Pokemon are great in what their types, their movesets, and all that fun stuff. Their abilities suck. A Barboach and a Wishcash with Oblivious or Anticipation to go for? Sure. Honestly, you're better off with just using Oblivious for the ability, because what does Anticipation really do? Absolutely nothing. All it just does is just senses into the foe his dangerous moves. Or rather, a dangerous move. But, listen. You love Surf. I love Earthquake. In fact, Wishcash is based on the data of an ancient catfish, and that is said to bring earthquake hints around the world. Which is fitting because it learns Earthquake naturally. Kind of nice at how these developers go the extra mile just to teach us these things. But you're probably thinking, why would I think of something like that when they're just as good as they are? Well, with the resistance of electric type, the only weakness being grass, what's not to like about that? I guess maybe it's movesets, well, I guess it's stats everywhere else, but you kind of think about it, do you really need to be mad at them for such? As much as I really like this idea for the concept, I mean, I really do like these particular combinations of water ground types. They're probably a lot better than that of the Tempo line, in my opinion. Not saying that they're bad, I'm just saying that they're just weird. So, all around, if you do want one, by all means, they're right here. Wishcash can only be found through rippling water while fishing. Maybe I'll give you one of my shiny stones. Only 3,000. Actually, come to think of it, you probably don't sell much either for a dust stomach because you're, yeah. Alright. So one of the last things that I want to end off for today, I want to head north to Dragonspiral Tower. This place. We have some things to talk about. The fact that the music doesn't change interval when you are surfing says a lot. Let's see. Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary from out here, but I still want to talk about this. Dragonspiral Tower has become something of very, very cool importance as it is. Through surfing, and even through fishing, we have 3 new Pokemon that is now accessible to us. I am going to be ballsy and see what I can get from this. Okay, that was actually pretty funny. Alright, let's get down to it. Through fishing normally, Dratini and Dragonair. Dragonair is a little bit harder to find, but they can be found through regular fishing as well. And I want to talk these two on their own real quickly before we talk about other things. Dratini and Dragonair are some of the best dragon types that you can obtain through fishing. They could be as low as 35 all the way to 55 if I remember correctly. This thing becomes very cool indeed. And by really cool, I mean this thing could be a brute when used correctly. If only you had access into Marvel Scale. I personally think that Marvel Scale is pretty good, but Shed Skin is also probably really good as well because that cures you of certain status problems. Finding them through rippling water will actually be very beneficial to you. Because they can be found as low as level 35 all the way to 60. Except for Dragonair, which can be found as high as level 70. But on a 1% encounter rate through rippling water within fishing, you could find Dragonite. Very little needs to be said about this beast. I have been waiting to talk about this for a while now. I know I kind of maybe talked about it briefly when I did Black for the first time as a Let's Play. But now I have a good place to start. Wow, level 55. I don't recommend that you try to track for a 1% encounter rate for a Dragonite. Now, don't get me wrong. It is a fantastic Pokemon. The fact that it goes from Shed Skin to Inner Focus is pretty interesting to say the least. But it also gained an ability of Multi-Scale. The other Pokemon that can have this is Lugia. It cuts in the damage in half when your HP is at maximum. Kind of an underwhelming ability if you ask me. But then again, that's how Dragonite had become a little bit more popular because of it. I remember the first time I ever played Black, long ago, when I learned that the entire Dratini line can be found out here, I decided to try to find a Dragonite, and they can be found through rippling water through fishing. It took me over an hour to find one. And as if that weren't enough, that Dragonite was a shiny. The scary part about that is I'm not even exaggerating. So you better bet your ass that I used a Master Ball on this. Just catch a Dratini or a Dragonair, level it up to become a Dragonite from that. I probably just saved you some sanity points. All around, these guys really don't need that much of an introduction. They were the original Dragon types. And this is where they've been hiding all along if you ever want to use one for your team. They're great. I love them. You love them. She loves them. You like to move it. I was hoping that I could find one with the rippling water, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Because finding rippling water out here is... I don't know how long, to say the least. I'm probably not going to worry too much about it, really. But you could do worse with this. I will say this. Catching a Dragonite is no easy feat. I'm willing to bet you that not even the dive ball could potentially get this thing. And they can only be found through fishing. So, you covered a little bit of some more ground. The season's changed into spring, which is kind of the opposite where we are right now. And of course, being the start of a new month out here, some things have now changed, and even from out here, we have some things that are now open to us. I'm not even on the freaking... Whatever. I did say here and there that we would end off, well, the last thing I want to talk about was that at Dragonspiral Tower, but now that there's a new season, we can finally get access to some of these items. is it that is like this? Just... Unless you guys are asking, you know what? You're asking for it, buddy. Alright. So, finally, we can call quits. Next time on Pokemon White, we explore the rest of this route. Because now that we have a new season, some things have opened up to us. See you guys then.